Hi, I'm Dan, the Rare Coin Man, and I'm also the webmaster of a new website called rarecoins101.com. Now, why did I create this website? Well, as a lifelong collector, it was always my hope that I was acquiring coins that would someday be worth a lot more than what I paid for them. And I think there are quite a few collectors who have the same mindset as well. Is there anyone who buys a coin with the expectation or the hope that it will decline in value? Well, maybe a few, but probably not many. Now, although I had a lot of fun with my collection, unfortunately, I wasn't very successful in selecting coins that turned out to be blue ribbon winners in price advancement. So that's how I ended up with a lot of duds in my collection as far as value appreciation was concerned. What collectors like me lacked was straightforward, clear-cut data showing which coins had the highest percentage gains over a long period of time. Now that sounds simple, but frustratingly, I never could find a list like that, so it was as if I was searching while wearing a blindfold. So that lack of a simple, concise list of high-performing United States coins is what motivated me to do a ton of research and numbers crunching to create my site, rarecoins101.com, and develop this list on my own. So I'm pleased to report the list is now ready to share. And I'll call it, ta-da, the Key Date Coin List. Not a fancy name, but it accomplishes what it's designed to do. In all, only about 200 coins qualified for this honor, and that's out of thousands of collectible United States coins that were evaluated. So it does take something special to make the cut. Now, one of the ways I've been informing collectors about my site and the valuable information it contains is to produce videos highlighting specific key date coins mentioned on the list. And that's what I'm getting ready to do again right now. Today, our focus is on the 1793 flowing hair chain cent, the variety with America abbreviated on the reverse. Instead of fully spelling out the word America, they shortened it to AMERI. Going forward, we're going to call it the Ameri reverse, or maybe the Ameri variety. Now, the 1793 flowing hair Ameri chain cent was the very first coin struck by the United States Mint that was intended for general circulation. Its important place in history is unquestioned. It's a great story. How about if we get started? All right, so here's rarecoins101.com. Now you can see there's a lot more here than just a list of coins. There's quite a few U.S. coin collecting topics that are covered here. Now, what makes this site so different is, compared to other coin-related charts, is the key date coin list, which you can access right here through this link. So let's go over to the key date coin list, and this is it. So let's go down. We'll skip all this. I've covered this in the previous video, all this introductory material about the key date coin list. And you get a chance, you can go back there later and check on that. So here's the good group, what we call the good group. There's about 70 coins that belong to the good group. Now there's also 3 other groups. There's the better, the best, and the classic rarities, which you can check that out later, but the good group is right here. So Let's find the 1793 chain cent. Let's see here. Right there it is. Well, it's the very first one. So let's go ahead and click that. So for every coin in the Key Date coin list, there's a dedicated page that you can access by clicking the link. So let's go ahead and click this link here. And there's a page that's dedicated to the 1793 floating hair cent chain reverse with the Mary abbreviation. So there's a lot of history here that explains why the 1793 chain cent has done so well with collectors for about 175 years. And we'll come back to this in just a few minutes. Now I want to stop here and look at the photos of the coin. You'll see Miss Liberty's flowing hair, just like that. And then there's the chain reverse, you see, and there's the Mary abbreviation. But let's go on down to the charts. That's where I want to start our conversation today. Now, the chart you're looking at here shows the values, how they've changed for the coin. This coin right here, the 1793 chain cent, and it shows how values have changed in G4. It stands for good-4 condition. And if you're new to coin collecting, this the number there might be a little bit of a mystery what that means, but we have a whole chapter dedicated to grading and what those numbers mean, so you can check that out later. In 1990, this coin in good-4 condition was estimated retail value in 1990 was about $2,500. And then it went up, and then it peaked in 2005 at around $15,000. Then it fell off. It's been falling off a little bit. And then here it looks like it stabilized in 2013 at around $10,000, where it remains today. Now, it's not uncommon at all, even for a rare, popular coin like this one, to have various peaks and valleys. When you consider the price of this coin is well below its all-time high, well, you know what? That's an indicator that right now might be a good time to acquire this coin because it's at a reduced price. Now, this trend line slope that you see here, this is a straight line that's determined from a mathematical calculation using all these retail values as data inputs. The trend line is an indication of how strongly the coin has been increasing in value in terms of percentage. Now, the bigger this number here, the trend line slope number, and the steeper this line is, the better the coin has performed in price appreciation. The fact that the trend line deals with percentages makes it easy to compare the performance of one coin to the next. Now, the vertical bars here, as we talked about just a minute ago, they indicate retail dollar values from one year to the next. And the trend line reflects the percentage movements of those dollar values. So you're getting two pieces of information here at once. Now, let's look at this coin in very good condition. Well, it does a little bit better. It's got a higher trend line slope, so that's good. In 1990, it started, its value was about $3,600, and by 2024, it's up to $25,000. So this one actually has, in this condition, has done better than the good. So let's go to the fine 12 condition, and you can see it's done even better. It started out in 1990 around $5,000, and 2024 it's $32,500 is the estimated selling price for this coin. And then we've also got the very fine and the extremely fine. And then for your convenience, there's another chart that shows all the grades, how they stack up against each other. You can more readily compare them. Everything starts out with a baseline of 100, and it goes from there. So you can see the different colors that representing the various different grades here. And then finally, if you really want to do a deep dive into the value trends, check out this chart here. This shows how trends have changed from 1950 to 1990. And in 1950, in good Ford condition, although they didn't have those numbers back in 1950, but just say good condition, you could buy one of these for $50. In extremely fine condition, it was $300. And you can see as the years went by, it really ramped up. And you don't see these kind of trends for average common date coins. So, going back to the chart here. So there were 5 grades and conditions evaluated for price movements, and the 5 I took all 5 of these different trend lines for this coin and averaged them, got what we call the trend line average. And just as its name implies, it is the average of the trend lines for this coin across the 5 conditions that were evaluated. In this case, the trend line average is 15.12, and it's the trend line average that determines if a coin deserves to be included on the key date list or not, and if so, what group it belongs to. Now, 15.12, that's really good. If you compare that to most other collectible coins, you'll see this is quite a bit higher, which indicates that it's been really a strong coin in terms of value appreciation. So that explains how this coin found a home on the key date coin list. One thing that every coin recommended on the key date coin list has in common is there is an interesting backstory or history explaining why the coin has such a fabulous value trend record. The 1793 chain cent is most certainly no exception. In fact, it has one of the more significant histories of all the coins we've studied. To tell this story, we must go back in time to the very earliest days of the United States Mint in Philadelphia. The first United States Mint was built near the intersection of 7th and what's now called Filbert Streets there in Philadelphia. The last standing structure of the original facility was demolished in 1911. All that's there today is this plaque commemorating the place where the first mint once stood, where it's mostly overshadowed by the hustle and bustle of downtown Philadelphia. Once upon a time, long ago, this was a much more tranquil scene. This painting by Edwin Lamazure was completed in 1913. The setting here illustrates how the first U.S. Mint appeared around the year 1818, although Lamazure employed some artistic license in his depiction. The background music you hear is called Minuet in G major. For centuries, the famous composer Johann Sebastian Bach was thought to have written this, but additional research in the 1970s revealed it is actually Christian Petzold who deserves credit for this masterpiece. Some of you might recognize it as a song called A Lover's Concerto, a big hit from 1965 by a group called The Toys. Indeed, it's a beautiful piece that has endured the test of time. Okay, back to business. It was the Mint Act of April 2nd, 1792 that set forth the construction of the U.S. Mint. Now, this is especially noteworthy because the Mint was the first public building authorized by the United States government. Just think of all the federal buildings today. This one was the very first. By early 1793, the Mint was ready to start kicking out coins. But due to legal technicalities, they weren't allowed to strike silver or gold coins, only copper coins. So rather than the half cent, they decided to issue the 1 cent coins first. Now, the task of designing and engraving the first U.S. cent fell to chief coiner Henry Voigt. Voigt's design depicted Miss Liberty with a free-flowing hair as a way to represent liberty, while the reverse featured a 15-link chain meant to symbolize unity and strength among the 15 states in the Union at the time. Although Voigt's intentions may have been good, the flowing hair chain cent didn't stick around for long, being minted only for just a few weeks in February and March of 1793, producing just 36,000 examples. Let's have a closer look at it. All right, here is the 1793 Ameri chain cent. We saw this earlier, but now we're going to take a closer look at it. The first variety of the chain cent to be produced was the one with Ameri, that is the abbreviation they used for America. Soon after the chain cents hit the streets of Philadelphia in March of 1793, it stirred controversy on multiple fronts. Aesthetically, the obverse image of Lady Liberty was ridiculed by some, for she appeared as a wild-eyed, unnerved woman with unruly hair, rather than a dignified model of calm and strength. The reverse fared no better. The chain was meant to symbolize unity, but that's not how it was viewed by some. How ironic, critics noted, that the first United States coin handled by the public at large highlighted a symbol suggestive of bondage. Did not this nation recently fight a revolution to win liberty for its people? Others saw the chain as a reminder of slavery. There were blistering, scathing reviews of the new coin appearing in newspapers. On March 20th, 1793, the Philadelphia Gazette ran the following: "The American cents do not answer our expectation. The chain on the reverse is but a bad omen for liberty, and liberty herself appears to be in a fright." Here's another less than flattering opinion of the chain cent that appeared in a Philadelphia newspaper: "A plow and a sheaf would be better than an idiot's head with the flowing hair which was meant to denote liberty, but which the world will suppose was intended to designate beep." Now, I don't want to repeat what they said, but if you're curious, you can go there from the sources I've credited for the material used in this video. We can't say with 100% certainty why the chain cent was dropped so quickly, but it seems logical to assume the unpopularity of the coin probably had something to do with it. By April 1793, the chain on the reverse was replaced by a wreath, as shown here, although the portrait of the flowing hair Liberty remained, but with some improvements. And they did put this little cluster of leaves right below Lady Liberty. This design didn't last long either, as it was replaced by the Liberty Cap design in September of 1793. The Liberty Cap design remained in production until 1796. There are multiple varieties of the 1793 chain cent. The variety that's been the focus here of this video has been on the Ameri cent. That's the one with the abbreviation, and is the one that belongs to the good group in our key date coin list of recommendations. However, it's important to know there are actually two other main varieties of the chain cent: both with America fully spelled out. And here's one of them right here. Now, this one has periods following the 1793 date that you can see right there, and the word liberty. And then on the reverse, you can see instead of the abbreviation we saw before, it's America is fully spelled out. Beautiful looking coin there. All right, let's go over to the second one. Now, this one does not have the periods. You can see the periods are not there, and it's got the America fully spelled out. This is a beautiful coin. Now, to be technically correct, there are actually 3 subvarieties of the no periods chain cent. We could talk about them, but we're not going to get into the weeds today on those. Now, all of the chain cents that we know of with America fully spelled out, they use the same reverse die. Now, the varieties with America generally do not have quite the same impressive value trend record as the variety with the Ameri abbreviation, but they are really great coins to have as well. And for that reason, they are recommended on the key date list in the classic rarities group. There are many things we do not know about the operations of the early mint. But one thing everyone agrees on is the Ameri die was the first to strike United States cents. And these carry the important distinction of being the very first U.S. coins made for general circulation. The very first. This cannot be overemphasized, as you're probably tired of me saying that. The very first this, the very first that. That's what makes this coin so special. Anyways, but an obvious question to ask is, why was the word America abbreviated with A-M-E-R-I? Now, this A-M-E-R-I version, it also had a period following the abbreviation and saves just one letter space, so why bother? There are competing explanations on why the abbreviation occurred. Let's have a look here at this slide. My thanks, by the way, to the American Numismatic Association for preparing this slide. One school of thought is because the Ameri reverse was the first one used for production, its die was the first one made. As the theory goes, as the engraver was working on these lettering United States of America, sometime somewhere along the line there, he realized he had blundered on the letter spacing, and so he dropped the last A in America to leave equal spacing between these words here, as depicted by these arrows. However, this theory does not explain why they did not appropriately adjust the spacing for the second reverse, the one with America fully spelled out. And as you can see here, the spacing between these words is not the same. The other school of thought, which I think makes the most sense, is that it was the reverse die with America fully spelled out that was the first one to be made. After they made it, they didn't like the uneven spacing between the lettering, and so they fabricated a die with America abbreviated like this one here to produce equal spacing between the lettering they didn't have to make any adjustments to the other lettering. And it was this die, this one right here, the Ameri die, that was placed into service first because they felt it had better aesthetic appeal. Now, whichever scenario was true, it was the Ameri variety that was first put into production. We do know that. But it didn't stay in service for long because the Ameri die broke after just a few thousand strikes, perhaps as many as 6,000 or so, which explains why of the 36,000 chain cents that were made, only a small percentage of them carried the Ameri abbreviation, And that also explains why so relatively few exist today. So, now you know the history of the 1793 flowing hair chain scent, in particular the Ameri variety. Researchers have uncovered documentary evidence that by the 1850s, the chain scents of 1793 had already found a soft spot in the hearts of collectors, as by then they were recognized as the very first coins produced for general circulation by the United States. How ironic is it that during its time of service, the 1793 chain scent was scorned for its design and lack of artistic charm. Today, it is viewed as a numismatic treasure of great importance and value. Next time you're at a coin show and see one of these rarities, ask the dealer if you can hold it in your hand for a closer look, because indeed, you'll be holding history in your hands. Okay, that's all for today. I'll be coming out with more videos to introduce other coins that made the cut for the Key Date list of recommendations. If this is something that interests you, please be sure to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss an episode. And one more thing, if you thought this video was worth watching, please hit the like button, because you know what? It'll really help me. Okay, thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy collecting.